What's up, guys? Welcome back to this channel. Today in this video, I want to talk about the single habit that has absolutely changed my life since I implemented it. And it's really not that difficult. It's allowed me to get way leaner, retain muscle, and really has transformed my physique, along with many other benefits as well, which I'll go over in another video. But I just want to talk about how this has helped me get absolutely shredded, and it's really simple. Just for some context, what even allowed me to stumble across this is about 3 months ago, I moved to Austin, Texas, and it was during a pretty dark place in my life. I remember I felt very homesick. I felt very lonely. I was falling out of love with my job. I had taken a big risk to drop out of college and sell life insurance, and I was no longer finding much fulfillment in doing so. That tension honestly led me to escape to many bad habits. I was out of the gym for a couple months at that time. I was eating fast food almost every day, and I was eating way past my maintenance. I was eating at a calorie surplus. I was getting fatter. I was getting uglier. I had horrible habits. I was hating my life more. And it was this one thing that switched everything upside down. If you guys follow this YouTube channel, you know that a couple months ago I talked about a 72-hour water fast. And that was really the catalyst that pulled me out of that hole. It gave me the utmost clarity. It gave me a new passion and allowed me to fall back in love with my life. That was the start. After that 72-hour water fast, it was this habit that allowed me to go from 17% body fat, looking completely chopped, fat. I had face fat. I had a firm gut. It allowed me to go from that to now 14% body fat, weighing 15 pounds less. I have visible abs now. I have a more defined jawline, a more defined face. And that simple hack that allowed me to get way more shredded was intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting allowed me to get way more shredded, to look way better, and feel way better. And it allowed me to do so without even trying. Not only did it raise my quality of life, but it dropped my percent body fat and allowed me to look way more shredded. Before I talk about that, I want to explain to you what intermittent fasting is, and it's actually really simple. It is in the name. Intermittent fasting just means that you proactively create windows in your day to not consume any calories. You can go as light as a 12-12 fast, which means you only have 12 hours of an eating window. The other 12 hours you consume no calories. You can also go more extreme. When I started with an 18-6 fast, which means for 18 hours of the day, I had no calories, and for 6 hours of the day, I would eat all of my calories. Since then, I've taken a step above that, and I only eat one meal a day, and in that meal, I'm still able to hit my protein goals, stay under my calories, and it's allowed me to optimize the benefits of fasting even more. Let me explain how. The first benefit of fasting is that your HGH, human growth hormone, spikes during fasted periods. So, after about 12 to 14 hours after eating, your body has no glucose in the system, so it has to run on different fuel. Your body can either run on fatty acids, it can run on amino acids, but what fasting does is it prioritizes muscle retention and ensures that the fuel that you're running on is fat and not muscle. On average, after 18 hours fully fasted, your HGH spikes by roughly 300%. What HGH does simply is it says muscle must be prioritized, ensure that we're burning fats, which means your fat goes and your muscle stays. The second benefit of intermittent fasting is that you literally condition yourself to only get hungry during your window of time. The way that works is we have this hormone in our body called ghrelin. Ghrelin is our hunger hormone. Ghrelin is what tells us that we're hungry and we need to eat. After about 3 to 5 days of intermittent fasting, you have conditioned yourself to only eat during a specific period of time. When I started my 18-6 fast, my 6-hour eating window was from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. After about 3 to 5 days, I no longer got hungry in the mornings at all. My ghrelin wouldn't spike. It would only spike in anticipation of a meal that would come at 3 o'clock. Think of ghrelin and hunger similar to the way that our body responds to sleep. After a certain amount of days of going to sleep at the same time and waking up at the same time, you no longer need an alarm because your body naturally starts waking up at that time, as long as you stay consistent with it. At first, it's difficult. After a few days, it gets a lot easier. It's the same thing with ghrelin. At first, it may be difficult. You start fasting, you usually eat breakfast. You're not eating breakfast the first day. You're going to be hungry during breakfast. 3 to 5 days into it, you're no longer hungry in the mornings. You're only going to be hungry in anticipation of your eating window. And the third benefit, which kind of comes as a result of the second and is just practical, is that it is very difficult to overeat during a small fasted period. For me, I only eat one meal a day. It is very difficult for me to eat at a calorie surplus above my maintenance or my total daily energy expended. Intermittent fasting basically guarantees that I am eating at a calorie deficit, especially if I have to prioritize eating lean, protein-dense foods. I'm very satiated and my calories are below my maintenance. I want to share with you guys practically how I ensure during an intermittent fast, how I eat at a calorie deficit, how I stay within my fasted window, and how I still get my protein goal in that fasted window, because that's the most difficult part. The hardest part about intermittent fasting is ensuring that you're still getting your protein. So here's exactly how I do it. I go to the grocery store and I buy a bunch of different types of meat. I buy salmon, I buy chicken thighs, I buy ground beef, I buy steak, and I separate them into 1 pound servings, and then I freeze them. So in my fridge right now, I have about 16 pounds of 4 different types of meat, and each day I eat 1 pound of protein. 1 pound of protein is no less than 80 grams of protein, usually closer to 85 or 90 grams of protein, and it stays below 1,000 calories. And when you are intermittent fasting, eating 1 pound of protein is really not that difficult. So right there, I have, we'll just call it 80 grams of protein, 900 calories. After dinner, I go on a quick postprandial walk to speed up my digestion, and then as soon as I come back, I have a protein shake. 12 ounces of whole milk, 1 serving of Greek yogurt, which is about 3/4 cup, 17 grams of protein, 100 calories, and then about 1.5 scoops of protein, about 40 grams of whey protein in that shake, 600 calorie protein shake, 70 grams of protein. Right there, I'm at about 150 to 160 grams of protein and about 1,500 calories. Now, I don't just eat that pound of protein by itself. I still eat carbohydrates with it. And luckily, I'm able to still have room for carbs without exceeding or even getting close to my maintenance calories. Real quick, let me explain to you, if you don't know, what your maintenance calorie is, because your maintenance determines whether you're eating at a calorie deficit or eating at a calorie surplus. Every human has what's called their basal metabolic rate, their BMR. Your basal metabolic rate is literally what is required, the energy that is required to keep your body alive. That is your BMR. On top of that, we also burn energy in heating and cooling our bodies. We also burn calories as we walk around in day-to-day life, as we do things like talk to one another, even just sitting at our desk and moving our fingers. That burns calories as well. On top of that, when we go on walks, when we go to the gym, that burns calories as well. So you have your basal metabolic rate, and then you also have extra calories that are burned depending on the lifestyle that you live. Every day, you burn calories on top of just keeping yourself alive. Personally, my basal metabolic rate is 1670 calories. I got that done at my gym in a body scan. 1670 calories on average in my day to day, going on walks, working, and going to the gym. I burn an additional 800 calories, which means that my total energy expenditure, TDEE, that is my maintenance for that day, which means that on an average day, I usually burn about 2,500 to 2,700 calories just with my lifestyle on top of my basal metabolic rate, which means that my maintenance on average is about 2,600 calories. Your maintenance is just an average estimate based on your lifestyle of how much roughly calories you burn per day. You're more active on a certain day, you're going to burn more calories. You're more sedentary on a day, you're going to burn less calories. On average, based on your lifestyle, your maintenance is just a rough estimate, but the exact number that your true maintenance is on a day-to-day basis is your total daily energy expended. If you eat less than your TDEE, then you are at a calorie deficit. If you eat exactly your TDEE, you have eaten maintenance. And if you eat more, you're at a calorie surplus. The way to lose weight is by eating at a calorie deficit. The way to gain weight is by eating at a calorie surplus. Now, how do you estimate how much weight you lose based on your calorie deficit? It's pretty easy, and it's just broken down into science and math. 1 pound is equal to 3,500 calories. So, if you eat at a 500 calorie deficit, then over 1 week or 7 days, you will have eaten at a 3,500 calorie deficit for that week, which means you will lose 1 pound. That means if I want to lose 1 pound per week and my average maintenance or total daily expended energy on average is 2,600 calories, if I eat below 2,100 calories, I will lose 1 pound that week. Now going back, I'm able to hit 150 grams of protein with 1,500 calories. So I have 500 calories or 600 calories to spare to eat carbs or whatever I want to eat while still staying at a calorie deficit. That means I don't just have to eat a pound of protein alone. I can throw in some noodles, some rice, some potatoes, and I'm still able to stay under 2,100 calories and eat at a 500 calorie deficit. Losing weight is a science. How to optimize losing weight and muscle growth is intermittent fasting. How to actually engineer a lifestyle to ensure that it is very difficult for you to overeat, for you to be hungry and miserable throughout the day. The answer is intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting has allowed me to go from 17% body fat to go to 14% body fat with visible abs and a more defined face at looking like this in less than 30 days. Intermittent fasting basically engineered my lifestyle to ensure that I'm optimizing for muscle retention, I'm optimizing for fat burning windows, I'm limiting the temptation of eating by decreasing the amount of times that my ghrelin spikes, and limiting the chances of overeating, making it very easy for me to eat at a calorie deficit while eating my body weight in protein or very close to it. Now, this is literally only the physical benefits of intermittent fasting. If you find this interesting at all, I would really recommend reaching out to me. I'm happy to share more about my experience intermittent fasting, but I'm also going to be creating another video about the mental benefits of intermittent fasting and how that has been the fuel to sustain this journey. The mental benefits of intermittent fasting has drastically changed and improved my quality of life. 3 months ago, I was straight depressed in a dark state, and now I wake up every day. I have insane mental clarity and focus, and it is literally because intermittent fasting. It's given me the focus, it's increased my quality of life altogether, and I'm going to be creating a video of how it can do the same exact thing for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to let you know that I am a fitness coach and I am taking on more fitness clients to help them also engineer their lives to make it very easy for them to get completely shredded, do so quickly, and do so without much temptation or tension in that process. Being fit, being healthy, that is the natural way that we were evolved to be shredded, to be in shape, to look good, and to feel good. But in today's society, it can be so freaking difficult. Capitalism fuels us to be constantly bombarded. I've been able to engineer a lifestyle that limits the amount of temptation that I experience from those different vices that are constantly being shoved down our throats. If you want help doing the same, please reach out to me. If you just want to have a conversation, I'm here to listen. I want to help you guys. I really enjoy this stuff. I love fitness, and I just want to spread this message because life was not meant to be lived in a depressed, insecure, fat, and lonely state. And that's the message that I want to share. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Keep an eye out for the next video where I'm going to be talking about the benefits of intermittent fasting. But that's all for now, guys. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this with someone who you think could benefit from it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.